Usually I use Infinity State Music on my stream for the streaming, so go ahead and check them out at youtube.com/Infinity State Music. They're in a competition right now to win something having to do with the piece of music that's on their channel right now. So go check them out. They have a really awesome music. That's why I use their music and support the StarCraft community as we advance in all forms here: music, gaming, I don't know, whatever, school, academics, being in the military. Over here, Siren is going to be throwing up the wall at the front. And of course, check my YouTube out at youtube.com/AegisStarCraft2. I promise you it's not this laggy on my YouTube channel. I do cast them with a recording, and it's not that laggy. And that's good information for everyone. Siren going to be throwing up his barracks up at the front as well. Zesty, we'll see if he decides to go for a quick natural expansion. His Overlord is scouting everything out over here. It does see the barracks coming up, so it knows exactly where his opponent has spawned. The Siren is going to be checking the corners of his base for that Overlord. Looks like the Overlord has actually hidden itself over here, away from sight. Hatchery coming up for Zesty. Oh no. Seal. Looks like Seal may be dropping shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and come back over here and check. It looks like we're back in the game, and we do have the hatchery up and coming for Zesty, as well as the orbital command on the way for Siren. He has grabbed the gas, so we'll see exactly what build he's trying to go for. I believe the Overlord should have been spotted just a few seconds ago, and Siren now knows exactly where his Zerg opponent has spawned. The first Marine is popping out, and it will be able to, never mind, not go for the Overlord. And the more drones coming out for Zesty. Siren now using an imbalanced unit, the Mule. You get it at the approximately 3-minute mark. So yeah. Nothing against Terran players, you know. We have a spawning pool on the way for Zesty, pulling the drones off for just a second. Going to be transferring them over to the natural expansion. Factory is on the way as well. More Marines popping up, and they're being placed at the bottom of the ramp to prevent the scouting on that factory. But a overzealous Zergling might be able to scout this out, especially if there's a pack of them. There is the reactor coming up, and we will be seeing reactor Hellions in just a moment, as well as a command center. We should be seeing that in this corner. There it is, the command center popping up. It's just how Terran players play, so you can guess. And we have Zesty over here. No queens yet. Should be getting the double queen up right now. Second queen not quite on the way for Zesty. The command center has been started, and there's the swap over for the Hellions. Do it. There it is. The swap over for Hellions. And the factory will be landing. The barracks going to be landing at the front as well. Possibly going to be throwing down a bunker to be able to close the space off a little bit better. And it looks like a couple of Zerglings going to be popping in here, going to be doing some damage with those Marines. One Zergling does escape with 6 HP. First queen is out, second queen is on the way, and almost complete Zergling metabolic boost coming up, as well as an Evo chamber going to be headed towards the late game. Here for Zesty, a Siren getting up to 30 food with his command center, finishing up Tech Lab completed for Siren. And a bunker on the way. He should be getting an upgrade on this tech lab shortly. More Hellions popping out for Siren. Does Zesty actually know about those Hellions? No, he doesn't. So all he knows is that there's a barracks up at the front, and that there is a barracks up at the top. Looks like the lift from that factory will be landing down here on the tech lab, perhaps going for the blue flame, and the barracks now switching back up. Another barracks now on the way. The SCVs mining at the natural expansion refinery coming up in the main. Hellions checking the tower, going to be advancing forward. I'm not sure if there's any Zergling up at the tower. there may have been one. One of these guys has probably a kill. There it is, one kill. Zergling's going to be advancing forward, sacrificing one right there. And more Zerglings popping out for Zesty right now. There is an Evo Chamber, a Roach Warren blocking the way over here. I sort of assumed it was an Evo Chamber. It looks like the Queen, it will be taking some damage. The Zerglings trying to do a little bit of a wraparound. Zesty, not quite able to, oh, a ton of Zerglings falling down right there. And the Spine Crawler is completed, or rerouted. It takes forever for those guys to root themselves. A single Overlord in the back for Zesty. Orbital Command coming up for Siren. And a couple of Hellions going to be continuing to stay the course up at the front. Looks like there was a cancel on something. Not too clear what it was. A couple more Roaches on the way, as well as the Glial Reconstitution. Roach is going to be poking forward to see if it can take care of any of those Hellions. Tanks are coming out, and the Marine tank push may be occurring right now. And Siren may bring a couple of SCVs along with that as well. And here comes the push. Sea Shanks without siege, but those are actually really good against Roaches in small numbers, as is happening right now. There is a macro hatchery on the way for Zesty, and getting this inside the main against Terran is fine, but against Protoss, it can get force fielded off, and that is not a good position to be in. Looks like the tanks will be able to get in here, and the Roaches are caught off of creep, so they're going to take a lot of damage. The Hellions continue to roast those guys away. The tanks and the Marines getting in here, and the siege tech is complete. I thought it wasn't. I guess I was completely and utterly wrong. I didn't check for it. I just assumed it wasn't done researching. We have bunkers coming up for Siren as well to narrow the space down. It looks like the Siege Blast raining down on those Zerg units. Zesty going to be pushing forward with a couple of his units. The Roach is still taking tons of damage. Another Sea Shank sieging up, and a Queen does fall down. Zesty going to be taking a lot of damage here if he is able to hold this off. Overlord's falling. Roaches popping out, going to be rushing up against those Marines. Looks like the Sea Shanks are in a perfect position. Soyu has left the game, and it looks like the Roaches up at the top of the ramp, unable to do too much as well. And Zesty is under so much pressure. He's making 8 more Zerglings right now, 2 more Roaches popping out real soon, and the hatchery is under fire. There is a command center started over here. It looks like he's gearing up to take the gold base. Sure. Gearing up to take the gold base, and we have the bunkers over here ready to protect that command center. Hellion up onto the high ground, and Zesty hanging in there as much as possible. More Roaches popping out, but they're just going to run straight into those tanks. The Roaches are popping out over here, and additional Terran reinforcements are just slowly creeping across the map. A starport has been started as well. The command center is almost complete. There's one Roach over there, not quite able to take out that Hellion. Looks like the Hellion will continue to keep control of this area. The 2 bunkers securing this area down, as well as the command center finishing up. I don't know what else to say about this right now. Zesty is going to have to get a lot of units out in order to defend against this, and because his Queens did go down at the natural expansion, he's not going to be able to rush out too many units. He does have plenty of units in the main because of that macro hatch, but this ramp with the bunkers and the Sea Shanks over here, it's going to be really difficult, but we'll see if he's able to handle it. Looks like a couple of Marines going to be ranging down on that Roach Warren, and these Baneling's going to be advancing forward right now. The Roach is going to be popping down here. The Sea Shanks blasting those away so quickly. One of the bunkers will not fall. Wow, Terran is so resilient. The bunker will burn down, but it looks like this hatchery is in grave danger. A couple of Roaches and Baneling's going to be running in here to see if they can save it. Looks like one Baneling does go down. The last Roach does get blasted to pieces. A couple more units in the backside. Additional units spawning here in the main. You're going to be trying to defend. Zesty now losing his natural expansion. This is such a bad position to be in. Maybe in the next battle he's going to have to fight with his workers as well. A scan going down up at the top of the ramp. There is a planet. Looks like he wasn't trying to take the gold. I guess it's a secondary defense for this area. And another hatchery coming. Not a hatchery. Why did I just call a factory a hatchery? More Sea Shanks over here for Siren, now climbing to 90 food. I've never seen this before, says Zesty. And he does have this Nidus network on the way. Unhappy face from Siren as well. We'll see if he's able to get this Nidus down and to be able to do enough damage against Siren. But this is looking pretty grave here. A scan going down. Does Siren know about that Nidus? No, he does not. Looks like the Marines are going to be stimming and running in here. Looks like the Siege Blast will take care of a couple of those units. But still not quite seeing that Nidus network, so this could be trouble as soon as it is complete. Looks like a Nidus head has been started over here for Zesty, and Siren doesn't have too much spotting over here. He's going to be advancing with the remainder of his forces, and here comes the all-in push with all of the drones as well as those units. Looks like Siren going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Looks like all SCVs getting pulled off the line. But being in a base race situation like this against a Terran player is not an ideal situation because Terran buildings can, well, fly away. +1 coming up for Siren, and there is the correct response. Going to be lifting his buildings, or just killing off his opponent. And it looks like the Marines and the Sea Shanks will be able to poke up here and continue to rain down the fire. Siren still has this planetary fortress, so even if all of these buildings go down, it's going to be really difficult for Zesty to break down that planetary fortress. Nerzel has left the game. The oversaturated natural expansion as well. GG from Zesty, and this game goes to UMBC. West Point falling to UMBC in week 3 of the Collegiate StarLeague Season 5. Huge thank you to our sponsors, TT Esports, as well as Twitch.tv. And this is Aegis signing off. We'll see you guys next time. And we'll leave you guys with some Infinity State music. Go check them out at youtube.com/Infinity State Music. If I could just find them. Yeah, I didn't prepare this at all earlier, so I'm just gonna randomly play some of their music. And there's the music for you guys. Yeah, Banner CC, man. Go check them out, Infinity State Music, youtube.com/Infinity State Music. Be sure to vote for them starting tomorrow in their competition. Go check it out on their channel. And of course, check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/AegisStarCraft2. Yeah, see you next time.